Hey, what's going on, everyone? Sly, and just finished watching the game between the Lions and the Bucks, and it's looking like we're gonna be playing the Lions, who they're a good ass team. However, their secondary is they're trash, man. I mean, Baker had chances to go out and take it, but Baker is Baker, so that didn't happen. So it's looking like we're gonna play the Lions. But earlier today, we got some news about Deebo Samuel from the playmaker Michael Irvin. He was on NFL Network and he said that he had talked to Deebo after the game. And so this is what he said. He said this time around he does feel better. Last time he got hurt, he couldn't lift his arm. He said this time he could, so that gives him hope that he'll be good for next week. Now, that's huge right there. Who remembers when he did hurt his shoulder? It was, I believe, it was like the first play. It was early in the game again, just like this game against the Packers. I think it was like the first play on a reverse against Cleveland. He got tackled, and when he went out of bounds, he got his shoulder, and he was like it was like a little fracture, and he was out for about 2 weeks, 2 games, and it was 2 games, and then we had a bye week, so essentially it was 3. So what we're hearing is that it doesn't seem to appear like it was like last time where he did get that small fracture and he was out. So, I mean, definitely Deebo Samuel is a difference maker. We saw this game. It looked like this game against the Packers, it was going to be a heavy dose of Deebo Samuel. Look at the first play in the second half with Juwan Jennings running the ball. That play was supposed to go to Deebo Samuel, and obviously it was kind of weird because it's like you're thinking, okay, we got to scratch that play, we'll not use it because Deebo's not out there. We shouldn't have Jennings running that play. That was weird, especially that Jennings, I think he's an amazing receiver, amazing blocker, but he's not the fastest dude. He runs like a 4.7, I believe, out of Tennessee. So that was kind of weird, but you could just tell that we knew it was going to rain. Kyle had the game plan as we're going to be heavy dose of Deebo, and when it went out, was that the first or second play again? And it just completely changed our offensive rhythm, it seemed like. So Deebo, he's a huge part of this. He's a huge part of this team, huge part of our game plan against the Packers. But even look at that 3-game losing streak. Deebo's out. He's out for 3 weeks. What happens? We freaking lose those 3 games, and not having him, it sucks. Brock Purdy, it was raining and it was a little bit shook, but you got to give the Brock star credit though. That last drive, just clutch, man, clutch without one of your best receivers, a dude that you've been going to all year long, and having to depend on other guys. And I can give it up to the guys that stepped in. Conley, that was a huge catch on that last drive, so it was nice and all. However, you need Deebo Samuel because I feel that he could go off. If Deebo Samuel is healthy against this Lions defense, this guy can go off. And if I'm Kyle, first of all, number one, I'm not using him for kick returns. Do not use him for kick returns. Do not be wasting your time of him getting injured. We do not want that at all. We just want him for plays that he could go big. And if he's healthy, man, I'm going heavy dose, jet sweep, everything. I'm throwing the kitchen sink because I know that the Lions, they could be had. You got to be able to find a way not to let Hutchinson have get cooking, and if you're able to go north and south on him, you could confuse him. So hearing this earlier from the playmaker, Michael Irvin, I heard that. I was like, okay, that's a really good sign, because I remember when he was hurt, I remember hearing that he said he couldn't lift his arm all the way. So I was like, oh, shoot, man, he might be out for a while. And he was, man. He missed those, was it 3 games? Yeah, he missed, I think, 2 or 3 games. Yeah, 3 games pretty much, because that was the first play of the Cleveland game. So, I mean, it completely changed everything. And early reports were hearing that it's not going to be raining. So this is when our offense got to cook, man. It's going to be perfect weather conditions, pretty much. It's not going to be completely night, so it's not going to be cold. Purdy's not going to have to worry about his hands or anything. At 3 o'clock, I think, is the game start time. So, I mean, all hands on deck. I know that was a close game yesterday, man, which it didn't look like our offense. And it looked the same exact thing without Deebo Samuel against the Cleveland Browns, Minnesota Vikings, Who else was that other team? Bengals. Those 3 games without Deebo, it was a completely like different team. It looked like, So having Deebo Samuel out there, man, we need him for the push. We need him for that run. We need Deebo Samuel because he's a stud, man. I remember the offseason when he wanted to get traded. I know a lot of people were like, trade him, trade him, trade him, trade him. I was like, dude, like he's the heartbeat of this team. I know Brandon Ayuk may have caught him up to him, like as far as like pure receivers is Brandon Ayuk, but Deebo Samuel is the heartbeat of this team. He reminds me kind of like Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors. He's not the best player. It's obviously Stephen Curry, man. Steph Curry is the best player of that team. But Draymond is the heartbeat. He's the one that gets the emotions going. He starts pumping up. When Deebo comes out, he comes out with a boombox or whatever on those road games. I mean, come on, man. You need that, knowing that Deebo's there right there. You have playmakers everywhere. You got to have it. You got to have it. So hopefully he's able to go. And right now, just hearing little nuggets around what's going on, I think he'll be able to go. I think he'll be able to go because we need this dude so much, man. Like such an important part of this offense. And, kind of where this team goes, Deebo goes, like the team goes where Deebo takes us. And that run we had 2 years ago in the playoffs where without Deebo, we're not going to the NFC Championship game against the Rams. What he did in that game against the Cowboys went off absolutely amazing. Then Green Bay, he did I know we only scored 13 points, but he made some clutch plays in that game. And for the first 3 quarters in that Rams NFC Championship game, he was amazing. Unfortunately, Kyle, he kind of went away from him, which I didn't get that. But having Deebo Samuels with these other playmakers, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, there's no way in the world this defense from Detroit should be able to do anything. Because I just watched that game right now, and I'm like, dude, that defense is horrible. That defense, statistically, is worse than the Packers. I think they're the 19th ranked defense. Packers were 17th. This was the 19th worst defense, and they could be beat in the run game too. I don't know why they didn't run it more, because every time they ran, it seemed like they were getting like 7-8 yards a pop, the Buccaneers. So I was like, dude, you have Deebo there doing reverse jet sweeps, Christian running up the middle, play action screens. Deebo, I mean, I'm telling you, we could score some damn points. I know this team. We were the second best offense in the NFL behind the Dolphins, but I think the DVOA we're like number 1, like PFF we were number 1. So we got it. I'm just saying we gotta have Deebo. If we have Deebo, I mean, this offense, I swear we have a chance to put up 40, 50 points on this team. I know Brock Purdy didn't have his greatest game. The rain changed everything, and he admitted it after the game. I'm not like, I gotta work on that because I have not been throwing the ball well in the rain. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it turns out, but I feel that he will be there. In my honest opinion, I feel that he's gonna be out there ready to go, and we need him, man. Like he's it, man. Like he's the heartbeat, and with him, I just gotta say, get your popcorn ready, man. Get your popcorn ready. I know a lot of people have us down and out after this last performance, which was bad, but we've seen this before from other championship teams. New England Patriots, close ass games that they should have lost. I remember the game against Jacksonville, in the AFC Championship game. That game they should have freaking lost, man. Like they should have lost that game against Jacksonville with Blake Bortles as quarterback. Even the Chiefs, man, they were down, I think 21 plus points against Houston, was in 2019 when they won the Super Bowl. So there's great teams out there that have been tested in the divisional round or in the championship game, and hopefully that was our tough game right there. I really expect this team to dominate, man. I really feel that we could dominate this game if we have all hands on deck, and Deebo Samuel is that missing piece. But that's what I got, man. Let me know what you think. Playmaker dropping a little nugget out there. Hopefully he's able to go, but all signs so far are good. So far, so good. But that's what I got, man. Make sure to like this video, comment, and go Niners. Peace.